The true secret of negotiation is sound, simple, and achievable. It's empathy. Negotiation serves two distinct, vital life functions: information gathering and behavior influencing. He who has learned to disagree without being disagreeable has discovered the most valuable secret of negotiation. No deal is better than a bad deal. Negotiation is not an act of battle. It's a process of discovery. Compromise is often a bad deal, and a key theme of this book is that no deal is better than a bad deal. When you mirror someone, repeat the last 3 words, or the critical 1 to 3 words of what someone has just said. People invariably respond with, "That's right," which are the 2 magic words in any negotiation. The fastest and most efficient means of establishing a quick working relationship is to acknowledge the negative and diffuse it. Black swans are events or pieces of knowledge that sit outside our regular expectations and therefore cannot be predicted. That's the basic assumption that underlies negotiation. People react primarily for 2 reasons: out of fear and out of the need to feel in control. Words are free. It's how we use them that may cost us. The biggest problem in any negotiation is the negotiator's desire for a yes. A good negotiator prepares, going in to be ready for possible surprises. A great negotiator aims to use her skills to reveal the surprises she is certain to find. The beauty of empathy is that it doesn't demand that you agree with the other person's ideas. The F words in negotiations are fair and feel. Fair is the F-bomb of negotiations. When someone starts talking about what's fair, it's usually a clear sign they feel they are not getting their way. Feel is another way to introduce empathy into a negotiation. In any interaction, the first step should always be listening. Don't commit to assumptions. Instead, view them as hypotheses and use the negotiation to test them rigorously. Getting the other side to reveal their problems, pains, and unmet objectives is the essence of negotiation. No is the start of the negotiation, not the end of it. When people feel they are not in control, they adopt what psychologists call a hostage mentality. Without a deep understanding of human psychology, without the acceptance that we are all crazy, irrational, impulsive, emotionally driven animals, all the raw intelligence and mathematical logic in the world is little help in the fraught, shifting interplay of 2 people negotiating. Deadlines are the enemy of negotiation. The person who talks the most will feel better about the negotiation when it's over, but they won't have the best outcome. A negotiator should observe everything. You must be part Sherlock Holmes, part Sigmund Freud. The beauty of empathy is that it doesn't demand that you agree with the other person's ideas. There are 3 kinds of yes: counterfeit, confirmation, and commitment. When we radiate warmth and acceptance, conversations just seem to flow. Loss aversion is, in short, the idea that people are drawn to gains and are averse to losses. A good negotiator always plays it cool. The man who masters the art of listening well will be able to negotiate well. Silence is often negotiators' best tool. Tactful interruption is an important skill to learn. You can't just sit there and let the other guy have his say. You have to interrupt when necessary, but in a way that's respectful and promotes more communication rather than shuts it down. Making your counterpart feel safe and secure, while at the same time posing choices that are hard to answer in any way other than the way you want them to, is the path to true negotiation success. There's always leverage. Leverage is the ability to inflict loss and withhold gain. In a negotiation, the key is giving the other side the illusion of control. Invisible negotiation tactics are the most powerful. If they're not seen, they're not felt. If they're not felt, they're not resisted. The most important thing in negotiation is to listen. In a negotiation, it's not enough to know what the other guy wants. You need to know what he needs and how badly he needs it. Negotiation is not about being right. It's about getting what you want. People will take more risks to avoid a loss than to realize a gain. Make sure your counterpart sees that there is something to lose by inaction. Negotiation isn't something to be avoided or feared. It's an everyday part of life. Negotiation is simply communication with results. Beware the man of one book. In negotiation, it's the man of one option. If your counterparts insist on using a term you don't understand, you can respond, "It seems like you're pretty familiar with this term. What does it mean to you?" Never be so sure of what you want that you wouldn't take something better. Every negotiation, every conversation, every moment of life is a series of small conflicts that, managed well, can rise to creative beauty. The best way to get your counterparts to lower their expectations is to say no in a way that invites them to keep negotiating. The more you engage people, the more they'll mirror your language and style, leading you to a zone of agreement. Mirrors work magic. Repeat the last 3 words, or the critical 1 to 3 words of what someone has just said. People never remember exactly what you said, but they remember how you made them feel. The system we use for negotiation is, simply put, a collection of scientifically grounded, field-tested tools designed to get your needs met. Successful negotiation is about mastering the intricacies of communication, and the better we are at it, the better we will be at seizing potential opportunities. The secret to gaining the upper hand in a negotiation is giving the other side the illusion of control. There's no one right way to negotiate. Every case is new, every case is different, and so every case has to be a process of discovery. In negotiation, each new skill makes everything else you're doing that much more effective. Every negotiation, every conversation, every moment of life is a series of small conflicts that, managed well, can rise to creative beauty. Every time you say no, you create a pause in the negotiation. You create a moment of tension, but it's a good tension. There's always leverage. Leverage is the ability to inflict loss and withhold gain. If you let the other side anchor monetary negotiations, you're losing money. People react to their loss of autonomy in ways that are often irrational and always negative. Don't look for the yes. Watch for the no. One can always say no. No is the only tool that can create fairness and, by eliminating bad deals, create room for great deals. We create the first impression of ourselves largely with what we say. Your mindset, how you approach a negotiation, determines what you get. When the pressure is on, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to your highest level of preparation. Everything we've learned in life has taught us that people who give get. A negotiation is not an exploration of the other side's feelings. It's an exploration of their situation. We do not compromise because it's right. We compromise because it is easy and because it saves face. Conflict brings out truth, creativity, and resolution. To get real leverage, you have to persuade them they have something concrete to lose if the deal falls through. That's the beauty of empathy. It's not about you. Fairness, or more precisely, each party's belief in what constitutes fairness, strongly influences negotiation. There are human universals. There is an art to dealing with people, and it is the key to getting what you want. You can't control the uncontrollable, but you can try to manage it to your advantage. The way we see the world is our attempt to make sense of it. The best thing we can do is prepare for negotiations to the best of our ability. The difference between sympathy and empathy is crucial. Sympathy is a feeling for, and empathy is a feeling with. While it may seem like there's some pie in the sky principle behind negotiation, there isn't. It's just about people. The best negotiators are the ones that are most prepared. There's always a negotiation. Whether explicit or beneath the surface, we are always negotiating. In negotiation, the key to success is not just planning, it's about planning for the unexpected. Great negotiators are able to question the assumptions that the rest of the involved players accept on faith. Slow it down. Going too fast is one of the mistakes all negotiators are prone to making. In the world of negotiation, we are all irrational. To be good at conflict is ultimately to be good at something much deeper, creative problem solving. Instead of denying or ignoring emotions, good negotiators identify and influence them. There's always a negotiation. If you think there's not, you're just unprepared. When your emotional patterns are an open book, you are played. In negotiations, an advantage is temporary, but a strong relationship can yield a lasting and sustainable competitive edge. Negotiation is often compared to chess, but in chess, you have just two opponents, each with identical resources and with luck playing a minimal role. There is always something to learn. With curiosity, we open ourselves to learning. The best move is often not a counterattack, but an open-ended, gentle probe for information. Most of us are not natural, born negotiators. But negotiation is a science, not an art. Allowing the other side to go first is the best move in most negotiations. We need to move from confrontation and competition to cooperation and collaboration in negotiation. Negotiation is simply communication with results. A good deal is rarely a matter of luck. It's a matter of design. Negotiation is the heart of collaboration. It is what makes conflict potentially meaningful and productive for all parties. The most successful people recognize that in life, they create their own love, they manufacture their own meaning, they generate their own motivation.